Joseph Hammond, now in his 90s, was at school in Ghana when the Second World War broke out in 1939. Having always wanted to join the army, he signed up as a driver mechanic for the side of the British. Joseph joined the army on 31st July 1943 and underwent mechanical training. After his training, he was posted to 3rd Advanced Based Workshops Tekarodi in the western region of Ghana. Hello and welcome to Nebo TV. Today we are going to discuss an interesting topic on the untold story of an African soldier who fought for the British during the World War II. In November 1943, Joseph and all the soldiers were drafted to go to the war. They said they needed the best soldiers from the unit, so 10 of them were drafted. About a week, all the 10 soldiers were taken to Takoradi Harbour, where they saw a very huge ship, HMS Circassia, with 2,500 troops on board. They were taken to India with the 3rd Gohas Regiment, 3rd Infantry Battalion. When Joseph and his comrades reached India, they were sent for training in Kulan in Bangladesh. All troops were trained in India. After the training, all the British troops, including Joseph, went to Chittagong. Japan has a boundary with Bangladesh, and the goal of the troop was to push the Japanese troops back.
When our troops arrived, it was so fearful. The Japanese, they were the most ferocious human fighters that I have ever seen.
When the troops arrived, they had 2 divisions. 81st Division comprised of 5th, 6th, and 7th battalions, and 82nd Division. Joseph was in the 82nd Division. The 81st were trained earlier, so they had to start fighting the Japanese to push them. The fight in the war against the Japanese forces was far more ferocious and brutal than in the war against German and Italian forces in Europe. It was terrible because the Japanese were the most ferocious human fighters at that time. If a Japanese soldier is captured in the war as a war prisoner, he has disgraced his family. But when a soldier dies, it's an honor to his family. This was their mentality. Joseph and his battalion reached the Irrawaddy River, where they managed to stop the Japanese from crossing. Sometimes the fighting became so intense that the British troop could not push the Japanese forces for 3 days. During the 5th battle, Joseph realized he had an injury in his left eye. His eyes was protruding and was flown by plane with 2 wounded people to Pond City in India for treatment. Joseph was sent to hospital 10 miles out of Pond City, where soldiers were being treated for their injuries. Because of his illness, Joseph stayed in the hospital in India until the end of the war in August 1945. After the defeat and victory parade of the British troop, General Slim addressed all troops. Joseph was at the hospital then, so his colleagues told him about the victory. The general congratulated the British troops and commended their marvelous work defending the British Empire. After the war, Joseph returned home to Ghana alongside fellow surviving soldiers. They were the first people to arrive in the country in December 1945, and they were the first people to bring the green battle dress into Ghana. Joseph was one of over 600,000 soldiers from across Africa who served alongside British force during the war. After being demobilized in January 1946, Joseph had various jobs in the hospitality, construction, and fishing industries before he retired in 2006. Today, Joseph still lives in Ghana, feels proud that he participated in the defense of the British Empire. What an interesting story to tell. And that's the end of today's show on Nebo TV. Do not forget to smash the subscription button if you are yet to do so. Like and share this video to your loved ones. Till next time, stay inspired.